So the clubs in the top half of the championship are understandably flying at the minute, but as always, things can always be better in football. Let's take a look at the top 12 clubs as it currently stands in the championship and see what former star currently still playing each team could do with having back right now. And no, loan deals do not count, so sorry Norwich fans, keep your hands off Harry Kane. Cardiff City, Aaron Ramsey. So there's probably not a Welshman on the planet who wants to see Aaron Ramsey for the next couple of weeks. Probably not even his mother, after he waddled around the pitch, helping the Republic of Ireland to a World Cup playoff place due to a series of mishit shots, mistimed challenges and a general lack of a midfield presence. Thanks for that by the way Aaron, very much appreciated. However, let's not get away from the fact that Ramsey is one of the best players in England. You don't last 9 years at Arsenal otherwise, unless of course your name is Nicholas Bentner. Ramsey came through the ranks at Cardiff and left the club after one full season back in the summer of 2008. He would certainly be an upgrade on Aaron Gunnarsson. Having said that, only one of them will be watching the World Cup on TV next summer. Wolves, Sam Vokes. So I'm guessing the 7 Wolves subscribers on our channel are currently spluttering on their evening coffee as I speak. A centre forward who scored 6 goals in 47 games for them would surely not be welcomed back with open arms. Sam Vokes is a joke at Wolves, a player the managers found so hard to get off the books that they sentenced him to 6 different loan spells instead. He did not get the hint. Well, it's 5 years since he left Molineux and he scored close to 50 goals for Burnley, including 12 last season. The Welsh international wouldn't be a bad shout. Sheffield United, Kyle Walker. Right, so this one blows all the other ones out of the water on this list. I'm fairly confident of that. I'm guessing when Sheffield United let Kyle Walker leave for Tottenham in 2009, after just 2 league appearances, they didn't think they were waving goodbye to a player who'd one day command a £50 million transfer fee. At the time, only 3 players had ever cost more than that. Now it's mere couch change that Pep Guardiola uses whenever he nips out for a pint of milk. The 27-year-old is England's first choice right back, has played over 200 games for Tottenham, and could be about to lift the Premier League with Man City. But yeah, I hope you spent that £9 million wisely, lads. Oh, right. Bristol City, Yannick BOLASIE. Okay, so Bristol City fans might not want Yannick BOLASIE back right now, considering he's currently on the sidelines with a broken knee, but when fit, BOLASIE would be the best player in the championship. He's not an orthodox winger. To be fair, he looks as though he's about to fall over whenever he's in control of the football. A bit like if you put a deer in roller skates, but it seems to work out for the lad. Except for, you know, now, when he hasn't played in over a year. He's only played 15 times for Everton since the £30 million move from Crystal Palace, but he sparkled during his sole season at Bristol City, playing 24 times during the 11-12 campaign. Surprisingly, he only scored 1 goal though. Then again, this man once went a season in the Maltese Premier League and found the back of the net just 4 times, so he's hardly prolific. Leeds United, Fabian Delph. The easy answer is Chris Wood. Obviously you take 30 goals out of a side and it's going to be a loss, but we'll go back a bit further and settle for Fabian Delph, a man who left Leeds United 8 years ago in search of bigger things and ended up at Aston Villa spiralling out of control before lying to the fans and becoming the next Jack Rodwell at Man City. That might be doing him a disservice though. Delph is a good player and would eat the likes of Rodwell for breakfast. Injuries have hampered his career, but he would make a fine signing for Leeds if they were so inclined. Maybe a possibility next season. Preston North End, David Nugent. Prepare to be underwhelmed, Preston fans, because you're stuck with David Nugent. 10 years ago, Nugent was a highly rated prospect, having scored 25 goals across 2 seasons for Preston, and then he stole Jermaine Defoe's goal from 2 yards out against Andorra and celebrated as if he'd won the World Cup, signed for Portsmouth, where Harry Redknapp tried to flog him to Derby County after 5 minutes, and went on to score 14 goals in his 82 top-flight games. Still though, the 32-year-old is a decent squad player for Derby. They finally got their man 10 years later, and could do a job for Preston. Aston Villa, Christian Benteke. So Christian Benteke is basically back where he started. He left an Aston Villa side hurtling for the drop back in 2015 in search of trophies at Liverpool. He found nothing but limited opportunities at Anfield and now finds himself at the foot of the Premier League, at a Crystal Palace side who haven't scored all season. Don't worry Chris, your old club are doing even worse, stuck in mid-table in the Championship and with a former Birmingham City boss as their manager. Yeah, another one. They don't look like getting promoted anytime soon. Ipswich Town, Aaron Cresswell. Aaron Cresswell goes under the radar a little bit, but the former Ipswich Town fullback is a handy player. He left the Trotters in 2014 and since then he's played 125 times for West Ham and has forced his way into the England squad. I'm sure Mick McCarthy would love to have him back in his side, but unfortunately it is not going to happen. Norwich City, Nathan Redmond. I was tempted to plump for Gary Hooper, but I know what sort of shitstorm that would have caused amongst the Norwich City firm. To be fair, look at Hooper's goal return this season is all I'll say. However, you can't look past Nathan Redmond, a man who has actually proven it against Premier League defences as opposed to Aberdeen and Burton Albion. The 23-year-old England international left Carrow Road for Southampton in 2016 after 3 virtual ever-present seasons. Fulham, Moussa Dembele. Yeah, which one though? Fulham just seem to be a factory for Moussa Dembele's. They probably have a few more lying around the back of Craven Cottage somewhere. They could do with Celtic's promising centre forward at the moment, but we've gone for the Spurs midfield general. Moussa Dembele, the original, spent 2 years at Fulham between 2010 and 2012, and since moving to Tottenham has established himself as one of the Premier League's most influential players. I say the fans would agree to taking him back, you know, in the same way I'd agree to going on a date with Jessica Alba. Middlesbrough, James Maddison. I could go for Gaston Ramirez, a man with all the technical ability in the world, but then I remember that he has the mental strength of a damp dish towel. The only other viable option is James Maddison, the 31-year-old midfielder at West Brom, not the saccharine pop singer that makes my ears want to bleed. The Darlington-born midfielder came through the ranks at Borough, helped the club to the UEFA Cup final, and left the club in 2007 for £1.5 million. I bet he never thought he'd be sticking it out at the Hawthorns for 10 years. It doesn't seem very exciting. Sheffield Wednesday, Chris Brunt. Another West Brom stalwart, Chris Brunt arrived at the Hawthorns in the same summer as Maddison, signing from Sheffield Wednesday after 24 goals in 153 games. Again, do you think he thought he'd be at the club for 10 years? Brunt, who also began his career at Middlesbrough, I swear he's just a Sheffield Wednesday stint and a bust up with Sidoberry, you know, away from having an identical career to Maddison, has played almost 350 games for the Baggies. Wednesday would be lucky to have him back. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.